Hey everyone, welcome to today's vlog. Today we are going to talk about January 2020 investment, practical way of investing in today's market. Uh, with the vision or the news, historic or current news that market is expected to crash, and how why people are saying that this market is expected to crash, one of the reasons of that, and how can we mitigate that particular one reason. Before we proceed, this particular episode is brought to you by the Financial Blog. Uh, I would request liking, commenting, and subscribing, and watching other videos of our channel pointed in on the right top of your screen. Um, so, as we said, we are going to talk about practical ways to invest in the current market crash news. So that in general, we personally see 2020 may actually be quite favorable to market. However, there have been a lot of news and commentary that we might expect a market crash. Now, there can be several practical reasons for it, but we are going to talk about one of the practical reasons on it and how can we mitigate in order to address that particular reason. So this one particular reason which we are going to talk about is US dollar global reserve and its impact. So if we basically look at the history, US dollar used to be backed by gold, and US used to sell weapons in World War II, which got payment in gold. Basically, the world started, I misspelled it here. Uh, World started using reserve currency as USD, and later on, which was basically instead, world started using bonds because they didn't want to carry so much, currency physically. And basically later on, US dollar was not backed by gold, as we all know. Now, these are the facts. Now, the reason people are calling the market crash, one of the reason, not the only reason, is because this is the perception or this is the fear. The world may want to reserve in different assets against against US dollar, which historically used to be backed by gold. And the I mean, what basically is supporting that is, I think, the dollar world reserve used to be in higher 60s or lower 70s, and now the world US dollar reserve is around towards 61% when we are talking about of this. And this also means that people may sell bonds from outside the US. That means that US may want to send this bonds within the US, and thus giving the higher percentage return. Now, when this happens, when people start getting higher percentage return internally, they are going to go for more secured investment towards investing in market, and that might make the market fall. Also, when this happens, the expectation is the US dollar buying power may go down. So, for example, if US dollar is equivalent to 10 currency of XYZ country, tomorrow US dollar may only fetch us maybe 7 currency of the same XYZ country, and thus US may be able to purchase less with the same dollar. Um, Now, this is one of the reason market is in fear, not the only reason. Also, it doesn't mean this will actually play out the way we are thinking it will. This might not be a majorly impacting reason in the market. However, if we choose to believe that this is a reason, or we want to consider this possibility and then we want to invest in, the idea is we would want to invest in something which is basically addressing this particular situation, and it's more global versus being US specific. So before we talk about some such stocks which we can invest in, Let me remind you to liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing this video. It really helps YouTube in algorithm, and it helps me, my family, and my friends making more such videos. So with that said, the suggestion is to consider some of these stocks. And again, I mean, you can, execute your broader judgment. But what I'm going to share now might be some of the suggestions. So the first company is actually US company. The reason we are bringing this stock up here is McDonald's, and it's because they have property and real estate all across the globe. So whether basically if we invest in a company like McDonald's, it may be some other similar companies like that, which may be US based, but they diversify your risk against just keeping in one country. So that is one suggestion. Second is Baba. So that is of course the Chinese Amazon or Alibaba. That is one suggestion. If you see, number three and number six are two of the Indian stocks. SDB is a stable, large, tier A type of Indian bank, and that is one thing which you may want to consider. The last one, which is number six, LTOUF, is a large cap Indian company, and both of these stocks you can invest in using the US market and from US. So those are two to consider. If you look at number four and number five, Shopify is which is Canadian company, which does similar to Amazon, but it's basically they support individuals, making, creating, giving ads on things like Facebook, etc., and it generates revenue from there. So that doesn't need to necessarily be its own website, but it kind of supports e-commerce in a way that you can execute it by advertising through other websites. BMO is Bank of Montreal, so which is kind of Canadian bank, and the good part about BMO is that I think it gives fair amount of dividend. I think it's around 4 to 5% a year. So these are some of the stocks worth considering, and might help you invest. All of these which are listed here are large cap of either US or the other countries, and might help you explore or invest more. Um, Note that if you invest in another country, you might be subject to certain percent of taxation or some fees which are periodic, and you need to know about those fees before you invest. But usually these fees are not very high, so just be aware, do your research before you invest. But that doesn't make any of these stocks any less valuable or viable stocks to invest in. um, so um, yeah, with that said, last but not good luck investing. Last but not the least, me, my family, and my friends, none of us are certified investors. So do your due diligence before investing. Though we are taking utmost care that the information is accurate. It is possible that there may be errors and mistakes. So please do your own diligence before investing. We do not assume any liability or accept any liability. Me, my family, and my friends may hold positions in stocks or segments which we are talking about. And note that any and every financial instrument or investing may um, you may end up losing money, irrespective of the financial instrument. So be careful on that, and be diligent with investing. Um, I guess that's about all. Be good luck investing. We are going to put certain more videos here of our channel in case you need to look at it. And this was brought to you by the Financial Blog. Have a great day, guys.